your book is pretty much a diary. Some of it fact, some of it fiction, right? Of your account of what's happened to you. Is that right? Is that
Half
fair?
of it's fiction, and then the other half of it is things taken from my diary that have been on the radio.
Right, and it's stuff that has really, which is true. For example, you say while you're writing the book and while you're doing the radio show, at the same time you clean apartments for a living. Is that true?
I work for a house cleaning company, so I clean apartments maybe 4 days a week.
Really? Now, tell me what that's like. I mean, do you have to do that anymore? Is it something that you do to make money, or is it something that you do?
Well, I write
is it
in the night.
therapeutic in any way?
I write in the evening because it doesn't feel right to drink that much during the day. So this is it's a good job for me in the daytime, and it gives me a place to go, and it gets me out of the house.
When you say you clean the apartments, I mean, how thoroughly do you clean them? You do the whole?
I don't iron, but I do just about everything else. My favorite job right now is this couple who has a huge apartment on the Upper West Side, nicest people in the world, very smart, and they don't have a clue. Like, I find unspeakable things in their apartment, like silverware that looks like it was crafted out of human hair. And last time I was there, the vacuum cleaner was clogged, so I put the hose to my mouth like a trumpet, and I realized too late that they had been vacuuming out the litter box, which was...
Why did you pretend it was a trumpet?
To clear it out. You know,
to clear it out. All right.
But yeah, I find unspeakable things in their home. So that's my favorite job, just because every time I go, I can't imagine what they're up to this time. Like the things that they use for ashtrays, like they cramp the middle of a toothpaste tube and use that for an ashtray. Let me
ask you quickly, do they know now that you're on TV telling about their private sick fascinations?
No, they don't.
Oh, good.
They don't know what I do.
Oh, good. Now, what's the easiest house for you to clean?
There's a German couple who comes to New York 3 days out of the year, and they want their apartment cleaned once a week. And they had a decorator do it, and everything's white. The carpet's white, the furniture's white, all the food in the refrigerator is white, the mugs are white, everything. So I just go, take off my shoes, and watch TV for 3 hours. There's really nothing else for me to do there.
That's not a bad. And what do you get then? How much is that for the whole?
I get $10 an hour, and then my master takes 5 of that. So the whole thing is $15 an hour.
That's not bad.
No.
Just for watching TV.
For light dusting, that's not bad at all.
Have you ever found something incredibly, evil, and where you've realized this person's a serial killer? I better get out of here.
I was cleaning someone's house, and I saw a little packet, a little thing under the bed, and I was lifting it to clean, and it opened, and a big gun fell into my lap, and that was the scariest thing I found.
And did you take it and start committing crimes with it, or just put it back?
Well, I put it back, but then I started vacuuming, and then I thought, I guess I should go back and clean my fingerprints off that gun, as if I had done
That's good. That's like a real New York attitude. You touch a gun, I better get my prints off that fast. Now, you were also you've mentioned on the radio and you talk in the book, you were an elf at Macy's.
Yeah, it was my first job when I moved to New York.
Now, what is that job like? What does it entail?
There's like a week-long training session before you can be an elf, and you have to take a battery of psychiatric tests to show that you're not a lunatic, and then you're given a green velvet costume and put to work.
Once they determine that you're not insane.
That you're not a lunatic, and you learn how to use a cash register, and you learn to say a few little things in sign language, and then there's a training. You act it out in a training seminar, and then you start work, and it's a magnificent job. It's just to work in any kind of a big store for the holidays, or I think if you worked at a theme park, you'd get the same. You see everything.
You like that? I mean, it's supposed to be hellish, to be in a big department store like Macy's on the holiday. What's good? You're in an elf costume. You're handling kids.
That's two good things. Just to see what people expect or what goes on. Like, I mean, I think people worry that they don't live in a democratic nation if they're waiting in line for more than 3 hours, and especially if you're waiting in line to see Santa. But just the things people would do, like you'd see a mother unzip her son's fly and have him urinate into a bank of artificial snow, as if this were outdoors, and those are real stars on the ceiling, things like that.
So you probably see the parents do a lot of weird things, right?
Yeah. Well, a lot of times the parents would say, Okay, Rachel, tell Santa what you want. Tell him what you want. Tell him you want a baby alive, and tell him you want... And they name everything that they've already bought. They don't want the child to say they want a pony or anything that the parents haven't already gotten for the child. So our parents.
And so the
would-
parents really coach them on what to say to Santa?
Oh, yeah, they'll have a child do like a little act for Santa, sing something for Santa, or mainly it was disappointing because it was the same thing over and over and over again.
Yeah.
You know, people saying the exact same things. But, and then I would take pictures of the children with Santa. And that was, because I don't know
So you
where-
were a special elf. Your job was to take photos.
You'd have like 7 or 8 jobs. Like you might be a water cooler elf and just stand near the water cooler for a while going like this. And then you might be a magic window elf, and you would say, "Can you step on the magic star and look through the window and you can see Santa?" And then you do that for hours and hours and hours. But taking the photographs was fun because I don't know. People would say, "Smile." And that was acceptable. I don't know where, but I always wondered, where do people learn to do that? And I guess I saw. It's like they're sitting on something, like as if there were broken glass or something in the seat, the smiles that people would manufacture.
Well, very few people smile naturally when they're told to smile by an elf, you know?
Yeah.
It's not what comes to mind naturally. Well, it's a very funny book, and of course the radio show's doing great. So you're happy. Life is good.
Yeah, I can't complain.
Yeah, well, thanks very much for being here with us. David Sedaris, everybody.
Thanks,
Thanks a lot for coming.